And look at what's happening with Fukushima. Okay, well, let's just raise the safe levels, and okay, you guys are all right. We just did a woman today, and she just didn't feel right. She couldn't use her resources. It's called methylation. She couldn't use her minerals. She had been to doctor after doctor, spent hundreds, thousands of dollars, and we were able in about 20 minutes to tell her what was really going on with her, and she had been poisoned with strontium. Now, strontium is one of those Fukushima things that gets in your food, and you eat it, and then it attacks your cells. It's a toxic, heavy metal, and it attacks your cells and doesn't allow your calcium and your oxygen to work. There was just a commercial on a little bit ago on the show about what a good medicine oxygen is. Well, this strontium will take away the ability of your cells to use oxygen. Your cell has all these little receptor sites, and these heavy metals, these radiation poisoning, goes into those little sites and sits there and won't get out. So oxygen can't get into the cell. And I wasn't going to get into this quite this early, but if anyone wants our radiation software, which is radical, I think radiation or radical rescue, and there's a class to teach you how to do it, we want to provide that to people for free with one caveat here. This afternoon, our website was attacked. We finally scrounged up enough money to get automatic registration on the computer. Now, they're trying to fix it now, but registration is not there. I'm hoping they'll get it up tomorrow. But people, right now, they have to ask for the software, and then we'll get them the registration. So we hope that is up and running, and I wanted it for this show so bad. But think about that. We can provide charts. With this lady that was strontium poisoned, we have figured out bioacoustically, which means mathematically, because your body is just a bunch of math. Your brain speaks math. Your brain speaks frequencies and numbers. It runs all over your body by nerves, by a frequency and a number. We just broke those codes. And so we look at people's voice and we look at what's going on, and we can tell you that if you're poisoned with strontium, then your antidote is ATP, adenosine triphosphate. You can buy that at your health food store. It will knock the strontium out of the oxygen receptor and set ATP there, and it will give up its site to oxygen. But you have to watch your kidneys. You have to do a lot of stuff. And that's the thing. There's a 2-hour course, free, software, free. Now, you do have to buy a microphone. And, boy, if I had the money, I'd give everybody in the world a microphone. I just don't have the money to do it. But that's my rose-colored wish for the world.
Well, I'll tell you what, I just added Christina Malik, also known as Rad Chick. She hosts a radio program on her own, and she covers Fukushima all the time. And she's a true expert in this and comes on here and educates us, especially with the different things you can do to prevent. But I was talking to her in the chat while you were speaking, and I said, this is, she's talking about your type of material that you cover. So I wanted to bring her in and introduce you to her. Christina, say hello to Sharry.
Hi, Sharry.
Hi, Rad Chick.
Boy, some fascinating stuff that you're talking about there.
I
have some questions for you.
Go ahead.
Well, because I hear all the time these theories being thrown around about how we can contain what's going on at Fukushima, and one of the theories has been containing the radiation with frequency, like building some type of array around the plant, almost like a Faraday cage, and keeping...
With sound frequencies?
With sound frequencies, yes. And do you know if there's anyone doing any research on that currently, or is that even possible, or if I had been misinformed?
There is a man that just sent me some stuff. He'd also worked on the golf stuff and used our frequencies to help clean up the golf. John, it's either Hickson or Henderson. I will get you a link to that because he is using frequencies and frequency arrays to help with this. One of the things that we're doing is internal stuff. He's doing external stuff. But I have this image. it's in the chemtrails or it's in your food or whatever. We got 10 people in this community that has strontium poisoning. Let's put out the antidote in the air because it's frequency, and let's tell them that the antidote is ATP and the competitor is inositol, which works with choline to help cleanse the body and make good neurotransmitters and things like that. This would be a great project. I'm ready.
I hope some grad students pick up on this soon, too, and start writing papers about it. And we try to encourage even, high school and college students and even, elementary school students and junior high to do reports on Fukushima and do reports on radiation and protection just to try to get the word out in any way possible. But it's really exciting to hear you talk about this kind of research because we need new ideas, new creative ways to deal with all these, toxic threats in the environment.
And what encourages me, Sharry, and Sharry, give us your website real quick because they're asking in the chat room for it.
SoundHealthOptions.com.
SoundHealthOptions.com. How simple. What's interesting to me, Sharry, with what you're doing is you've been doing it for a long time. But, you were starting to get, not starting, you've always had, university recognition. But you talked about this, all this money going out in this field. Are you guys being asked to come in and provide information on it? Or is it still, they're trying to keep it in the mainstream medicine type of realm?
We have already presented at the FDA and the National Institute of Health, and their advice to us is don't tell anybody you can do this. And for 2 years, I sat on it until they asked me to write a grant about Parkinson's, which I did, because we can predict Parkinson's within 2 or 3 years of when it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing I know, well, your grant wasn't funded, blah, 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 good luck next time. And within a year, Pfizer Pharmaceuticals had an article out on how to predict Parkinson's through a vocal print. So I don't trust them anymore.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And I don't want to run this business by fear, and that's the reason I kept it to myself for many years, although a lot of doctors send us patients that they don't know how to figure out. And here's a secret. If you'll go to soundhealthoptions.com/secret-stash.html, there are 2 videos there that people can download and pass around, and one of them is Miracles of Non-Medicine, and you can hear the doctors that work with us and the people who have benefited from what we do. But I was running in fear, Charlie and Christina. I wouldn't go public because I didn't want to get bashed by the FDA. But so many people are taking this up, like Pfizer, like Cogstate in Australia, University of Massachusetts, University of Wisconsin at Madison, AT&T that I just announced. We have to step out, and we're going to step out with Gout, this big project that we just did. And a lot of that is on YouTube, and there's profiles on our website. We really can do this. We can extrapolate. One of the biggest things we did was turn around swine flu, Tamiflu-resistant swine flu.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to be under the government's threat of a pandemic. If we can get a center, a bioacoustic center in every community, and if people already are set up, I'm supplying the software, and there's 6, 7 different softwares for free that they can use to help get that center started.
Sharry, I want to ask you, and Christina as well, because you have told me before. You and I have talked on the program. It's like talking to my aunt. We stay on the phone for an hour, hour and a half, just BSing. But you had told me that you can detect levels, different kinds of radiation levels, just by analyzing the voice. Correct?
Absolutely.
And obviously, Christina, this is your realm. And I found it very interesting. In fact, when I first heard this, I thought I should put you two in touch because you're, always looking for ways to not only, detect radiation, but on looking for solutions to combat it.
Well, if Christine will give me a 30-second vocal print, I'll just see where she stands.
All right. Well, I think we have that. Christina, why don't you say something for 30 seconds?
Okay, let me get my machine up.
Wait a minute. Okay, we're probably going to have to, Christina, I hate to do this to you. You're the guinea pig, but I know you believe in what you're saying, so it's going to be fun. And what we'll do is we got a break coming up here, and I'll explain a little bit Sharry's done this with me and other folks in the chat room before. But she'll record your voice and then analyze it and tell you some very interesting things about yourself. Are you game?
Sure.
I need to know.
It's not as scary as being on with Dax.
I need later what you have eaten in the last 24 hours, Charlie. You have got some big allergy going on, and we'll talk about a new allergy class for people too.
Good deal, and you nailed it. And I've never told you that I'm suffering with that. So once again, all right, guys, hang tight. We're going to be back with Sharry, Christina, myself, and more Wide Awake News Radio. And we will get to these three audio clips. Ben Bernanke's in one, Ehud Barak's in another one, and Joe Biden, old Jumpin' Joe. We're going to analyze these as well. So hang tight. We'll be back in 5.5 minutes. All right, guys, welcome back to Wide Awake News Radio. I am Charlie McGrath, your host. We have Christina, the rad chick. Also, we have Sharry Edwards with SignHealthOptions.com. And if you were one of the folks watching on Justin TV, you heard Sharry do I don't know what to call it, Sharry, an analysis. Profile. Okay. I want to say a reading, but that makes you seem like a medium then or something like that. But a profile on Christina during the break. And I'll get it from the horse's mouth. How accurate, Christina?
Yeah, she absolutely nailed it with the medical problems that I have. One is a spinal cord injury, and it identified a nerve problem in the lower back, which is where the injury is, in my lumbar spine, and also the fibromyalgia was brought up, and then also possibly that I've had some exposure to iodine-131, but no other radionuclides, so that's good.
Well, the other problem, there is some zinc issues in here, and that's what's making the idiocobalamin a problem, because that's the form of B12 that feeds your muscles. So you're going to have stiff muscles, you're going to have sore muscles.
I do, but I thought that was from being on the radio all the time and sitting here crouched over the computer.
SoundHealthOptions.com. SoundHealthOptions.com. If you go there and you put in SoundHealthOptions.com/secretstash.html, you can see doctors speaking and attesting to this technology. Everything you just used to do her profile, you teach people how to do that for themselves, correct?
Yes, and we're giving away all of it except the microphone. Everything I used. The charts, the computer programs, that's what we want to provide to people so that they can do this for everybody in their community.
All right. Well, I will drop the website link into the chat room here in a minute. Guys, with not a lot of time left, Christina, do you have any more questions? I'm going to jump into these clips, and you're more than welcome to hang out and comment on them as well. But do you have any more questions for her before we do this?
No. I'd rather just listen to her talk, really.
Okay.